it's Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be a fun one. We are going to be doing another MLM horror story reaction video. I'm so excited to dive in. If you guys don't know, here on the channel I do a lot of anti-MLM content. That's my main focus. However, I also like to dive into reacting to people's horror stories. So if you guys may or may not know, there's many people have absolutely horrific experiences with MLMs, and a lot of that isn't shared enough in my opinion. So I decided to take a time where I try and once a month do an MLM horror stories video, so that way you guys can share your personal experiences with me anonymously or not if you prefer, and I'm able to share it all so that way other people can hear and not feel so alone, and maybe even be able to hear these stories and leave their MLM also. It's a really great way of talking about this and sharing experiences, and so that way people don't feel like they have to do this by themselves, and they can use my platform in a sense to talk about it. Alright guys, so before we hop into this video though, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so that you'll be notified of every single video I post. And now without further ado, let's hop into this MLM horror stories video. Let's go! So we're going to be reacting to several MLM horror stories. From what I was able to briefly look over, there are so many of them involving Mary Kay, which I'm very excited to hop into. But nonetheless, we're going to start off with the first one. So here's the first one that is going to be about Mary Kay. Hello, friend. I recently came across your YouTube channel after having a conversation with a friend about our shared experiences in Mary Kay, which left both of us absolutely scarred. I had no idea there was such a huge movement against these types of businesses, if that is what you want to call them. I admire you so much for shedding light on the ugly side of these companies, because they're so good at pulling wool over the eyes of so many people. When I was 23, I was approached by a close friend, and she was quickly recruited me into Mary Kay. She was close enough to know that I had no money and also knew that I wasn't in their target market. They typically go after women that own a home, have a career, and are between the ages of 25 to 35. There are more criteria, I believe, but I have done my best to block out so much of this garbage. So knowing I had no money and no idea what I was getting myself into, my director, who knew better, told me I needed an inventory because, you know, this shit was going to sell quick, or at least that's what they tell you. So I was encouraged by this director and my recruiter to put it all on a credit card. Of course, at this time, Mary Kay credit cards were not a thing. Thank God. Absolutely. Oh my God. The amount of people I've talked to that have literally used the Mary Kay credit cards, the interest rate is horrific. Like, you literally could put $5,000 on there, let's say, and it's going to double so quickly. Like, it's terrifying. I bought $500 worth of inventory because that's all I could afford. Of course, my director placed the order for me, and everything she ordered was stuff that literally no one would buy. But being the loyal friend I am, I was doing this for my recruiter, and I would find a way to make it work. After realizing that people had no interest in actually having parties or purchasing any of this crap, I was left with a sinking feeling that I was completely inadequate. My friend would ask me why I wasn't working harder to make these dreams a reality for myself. And what I was too afraid to admit was that I just had crippling anxiety. I'm so sorry. The idea of harassing women in Target or Starbucks made me physically ill, but because it was outside of my comfort zone, it was exactly what I needed to do to be successful. Oh, that is something I'm noticing big time. Is there's so many people that are in an MLM, for example. This is something I've really noticed in Mary Kay specifically, where they would go to Target, they would they would literally walk around or hang around at Target, for example, and they would talk to women, and they would try and like strike up a conversation about like their pants or something, and they would literally try and recruit them in Target, or yeah, a Starbucks or a Walmart, anything that people could, you know, get their hands on essentially. To continue, needless to say, I went into debt, I failed miserably, and because of this, my anxiety worsened to the point of full-blown depression and some very dark times in my life. Eventually, I picked myself up, I got a great job, and I have successfully moved up in the company I work for now. I thank God had everything to do with pulling me out of the pit that Mary Kay put me in. The person that recruited me doesn't speak to me much anymore because I don't serve her financially. She managed to work her way up after getting enough people to join under her. She will occasionally reach out, but has turned out to be the type of friend I don't really care to invest much time in. I didn't realize until recently how much Mary Kay affected my mental health, and it feels so good to talk about it now. Any company that requires you to buy your status should be ashamed. I hate it for all the women that work their butts off just to see their upline succeed. It's disgusting. I apologize for the long story, and unfortunately, this is only a small portion of the story for me. I could go on, but I won't. Feel free to use the story if you'd like. All I ask is that I remain anonymous. Thank you so much, and thank you for working so hard to educate people on how to avoid the scam that is multi-level marketing. Okay, so let's recap this a little bit. First of all, that is just heartbreaking that you had to experience this with someone that you considered a friend. That's always the worst, but that is so true. Feeling you need to buy your status, that is the best way that honestly anyone can explain it. Buying your status in the world with these MLMs. It is all about purchasing a lifestyle and buying it, honestly. Like there's sure some people that make money on it, but the amount of people that genuinely make money are little to none. So most people are left with pretending and playing this role, and they're buying it. They're literally buying it. That is so sad to me. And again, you guys, for real, if you guys ever send me stories, don't ever apologize if it's like long. I appreciate you sharing. Like, this is a big deal to me when you share and are open and are telling me, let it all out. Let it all out. I'm not bothered. Let's go. We're chit-chatting. We're having a blast, guys. So the next one we're going to react to is, so this is another one. Oh no. Caption says, MLM horror story. I was approached about the biz after talking about genocide. Oh God. Hi, Isabella. I have a crazy MLM story that's also pretty sad. Thanks for keeping me anonymous. I recently dealt with some emotional trauma. It's still happening due to recent events in Canada where I'm from. Half First Nations and the grandchild of a residential school survivor. Oh boy. The recent discovery of 215 beautiful souls destroyed took its toll on myself and my community. I posted a very raw, sad story about how deeply colonialism continues to impact me today, and how deeply angry and sad I am that the government doesn't do anything to change, only empty apologies. Then within minutes, an MLM hunt from my high school messages me asking if I'd given any thought to her business. I nearly fainted because I don't know how someone could watch my Instagram story about residential schools and think, great timing to pitch joining my team. She's like, oh, I'm here for you and I'm here to help you. But what happened was so disrespectful. I noticed she was the second view on my story. Real quickly, I do want to actually stop because I actually personally didn't know about this, and I actually, once I am done filming, I'm probably going to be digging into this more because it's important to know these things. There's a New York Times article that I'm pulling up, and it's Lost Lives, Lost Culture, the Forgotten History of Indigenous Boarding Schools. Trigger warning if anyone is, very near and dear to this type of topic. But essentially, thousands of Native American children attended U.S. boarding schools designed to civilize the savage. That's the quote from the direct article. Many died, many who lived are reclaiming their identity. Yeah, that is literally disgusting and devastating. I actually, I had an American Ethnic Studies class that I took because I really wanted to I wanted to dive into certain things that have not been taught. And that was actually something that I read about, and I forgot just the name of it all, but I remember reading about these schools and just how horrific it was, completely stripping Indigenous people of their culture, their language, their religion, anything, absolutely everything. They took that away. And that's disgusting. And I can't even imagine experiencing something like that. So that breaks my heart. That literally is just, that breaks my heart. So I am so sorry that somebody approached you during this. Like, that is not okay. Whew, all right, sorry. Why am I getting emotional? Shit, okay. I guess it reminded her to take me off her no for now list and try to catch me at my most emotionally fragile. When you think about it, that is absolutely, it's messed up. It's point blank period, it's just messed up. These people have no zero boundaries or humanity. I've seen Huns shill to cancer patients, so I'm not exactly wildly surprised, but I am disappointed. I don't understand how someone could see a story like mine and be like, great time to recruit her. I didn't respond because I was so mad. She kept sending me videos of products while I was crying, talking to other First Nations friends. I had to turn off my phone for mental peace. I was trying to get support and keep getting photos of her diet pills, which is funny because on a rant about colonialism, diet culture just doesn't fit. I don't know how she got me wanting to lose weight out of that. Apparently it's because she wants people to feel better and be their best selves. The day before, she posted a crying video about how the biz changed her life and saved her from depression. Red flag. I think in a twisted way she wants to reach out and help me because she's brainwashed. That or she's looking for a sale. Honestly, both are bad. This is all just bad. You know how I'm feeling? Bad, but worse now that you use my trauma for sales pitch. This is why people hate MLMs. There's no humanity or decency. She actually sent me a screenshot that says, she sent me a screenshot quickly, but the screenshot is just showing how this person is pitching for It Works. Hey love, have you given any thought to the It Works business? How are you feeling? Thank you for all the support. I hope I can help you in any way you need. I'd be pissed. I would be livid. Why? This is literally such a huge problem in our society now, is when there's a conversation about something very important like that. That is something I have noticed, just in society in general, but stuff like this. There could be a topic about something so horrific and traumatizing and difficult to deal with. And we see these MLMers, a lot of the times I feel like they're brainwashed, but sometimes I wonder if they're not. And they're doing this just because. I wonder, like, they will go into situations where you shouldn't be dealing with anything right now like that. They will go and pitch their damn MLM. And yeah, it's a cancer patient. It's someone that has experienced horrific trauma because of bullshit in this world. And it's not okay. And it literally makes me so sad. Like, that is a traumatizing situation. That is a traumatizing thing that has affected so many people. And the fact that somebody was like, ooh, I'm going to watch their story and I'm going to, like, that reminded me I need to, like, reach out to her. That is messed up. Holy shit. Okay. All right, next story, you guys. That was absolutely not. That pissed me off to no end. Okay. All right, guys. This is the next one that's really long. It's just an MLM horror story. Hello there. I'm fairly new to your channel, but I have been a viewer a little over a month now. The MLM horror stories are my absolute favorite, so I figured I would share my experience. I have one with Beachbody and also HempWorks. No shit. That's a new one. I gotta look into that. My name is Sarah, and I'm from Syracuse, New York. I don't mind if you use my name. Oh, hi, Sarah. Thank you so much, by the way. My first experience was with Beachbody. I've never been overweight, but a few years ago, I really wanted to tone up and get on a better diet. A girl I met while in prison, I know that's kind of shocking, so I will briefly explain. Back in 2010, I had a horrible heroin addiction and some poor choices landed me serving a 5-year prison sentence. I did 4 out of the 5 years. Prison was my blessing in disguise, and I proudly say now that I will be Yay! I will be celebrating 11 years drug-free on December 17th of 2021. Congratulations! No! Oh my God! That's awesome! Hell yeah! Sarah, you are a strong bitch. Power, I am so excited for you. That makes me so happy. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I was also introduced to welding in prison, which I now do full time. I have a beautiful and wholesome life. Yay, that makes me so happy. Oh, happy tears. Okay, suck it up, Bella. Good God. Anywho, I knew this girl from prison who would always share on social media about her addiction and recovery while also promoting being a Beachbody coach. This intrigued me as I could relate to the addiction bit, so I reached out. She was very quickly convinced me to sign up. Right before doing so, she practically begged me to sign on as a coach so she could get an extra commission check, $75 to be exact. I was hesitant and explained I didn't want to coach and only wanted to be a regular member as I was slammed with overtime at work and was working close to 60 hours per week welding. Whoa, girl. She explained I didn't actually need to coach or do anything and that she would use her debit card to pay the one-time fee of $15, I believe, to sign on as a coach, plus around either $150 to $200 for the Beachbody package I wanted. I reluctantly went through with it. I tried to do her a favor. I received my Shakeology, workout items, and portion containers. I remember her introducing me as a coach into some Facebook groups, which I thought was odd as I wasn't going to be actually coaching. But for whatever reason, I trusted her and looked past the red flags. I remember reaching out to her for tips on food and items to get at the grocery store, and her telling me she was struggling with money and couldn't afford a lot of the diet food because it usually is more expensive, and admitted that she does cheat from time to time, which she never admitted to on social media. Sometime I became disinterested and didn't keep up with it. I stopped the shakes, which weren't that great considering the price tag. I stopped the workouts and didn't think I ever wound up using the portion containers. I noticed she wasn't posting anything Beachbody related anymore when she used to very actively post multiple times per day. A few months went by and I was checking my credit card statements and realized I was being charged about $15 every month for the past few months from Beachbody. I looked into it and saw it was my coaching fee. She'd used her card for the initial fee, but I was being charged for almost 6 months after and didn't notice. I was told it will only be one-time fee. I reached out to her and she saw my message and completely ignored me. A mutual friend had told me she bad relapsed, so I contacted Beachbody and just had my entire account canceled. What a nightmare. Oh God, that's real. I mean, that is real. I mean, all bullshit aside about the MLM, that is really, really sad if she relapsed. Like, oh my God. Okay. My second MLM experience was with HempWorks, which I didn't hear about as much. My mother-in-law had been with them for a few years. My husband was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis a few years ago, and she had given us a few bottles of CBD oil and pain rub. I will tell you, I vibe with CBD oil. That is my shit. I love CBD products. It is amazing. I love how it's natural. I am an insanely anxious individual, and it has helped me. That's all I gotta say. It is a blessing in disguise, in my opinion. So I fuck with the CBD, not with an MLM CBD company though. I will admit they had really good products and we both loved using the oil and rub, even used the oil for the pups. Whenever we went to restock, we saw how pricey they were. My mother-in-law mentioned me joining her team, so after a few purchases, we wanted to give it a shot for the discount. I reached out to her and saw my messages and completely ignored me. Okay, my second MLM, whenever we went to restock, we saw how pricey they were. My mother-in-law had mentioned me joining her team, so after a few purchases, I wanted to give it a shot for the discount. She explained it to me it was the best best to buy the biggest CBD pack, and that would earn me most money. So I used my credit card and bought $500 package with the promise I would be able to quickly sell everything. Thank goodness I did sell everything very quickly and was able to pay back my card within that first month. My mother-in-law would go to events like craft shows, etc., to set up a booth to sell her oils. I went with her to 2 different events, which neither of us sold a thing, and she would have a contest to win a free bottle of oil. All you had to do was leave your email and you were entered. She had told me that after no one ever really wins, and it was just to collect emails so she could send them ads in hopes of them making a purchase or joining the team. I thought that was pretty sketchy, but kept pushing forward. I did decent the first few months. The money was okay, nothing spectacular, as I only made a few bucks every time someone else purchased something. Once the purchases slowed down, I realized I was losing money with the fees and having to make a $90 purchase myself every month to stay active. When I expressed my concerns to my mother-in-law is when she started pushing me to recruit and told me that's where you really make money. I was really turned off by that idea because I only wanted to sell products. I think it was the very next month I canceled being a member and have never looked back since. A few months after leaving HempWorks, a girl I knew had joined Monet. I was going through her IG stories, and one of her posts was her commenting on the lawsuits people have and brushing them off. I decided to Google Monet because I was super curious what lawsuits were about. Once I did, that's when my eyes were opened to what MLMs were truly about, and I started to watch Kiki Chanel. I was appalled with what I was hearing, but I also glad I managed to escape both MLMs, having only lost a little bit of money. I feel horrible for the other men and women who weren't so lucky. Soon after I had accidentally clicked on a response poll on a Monet girl had posted on her stories, she immediately sent me the "Hey babe" message, and unfortunately I had to block her. Anywho, I know I'm long-winded, but that's my story. I love your channel and everything you do. I look forward to your next video. Have a great day, babe. Sarah. Okay, so seriously though, Sarah, you're a gem. Thank you so much for being, just sharing absolutely everything. I appreciate it. Again, congratulations on being drug-free and having your world change in the best. I'm so proud of you. Please know that. So freaking proud of you. Thank you. For real though, that was a wild story from even an MLM about freaking CBD oil. It is requiring recruitment, and that's the moneymaker. I just never ceases to amaze me, you guys. This stuff is such a nightmare. All right, you guys, this next one is again about Mary Kay, so let's dive in. Hi, Isabella. I just came across your videos about Mary Kay, and I definitely wish I had seen them before I signed up last year. It's so informative, and a lot of what you said felt really relative to my experience with them. Thankfully, I wasn't in long, but here's my story. You can feel free to share it if you'd like. I was invited saying I would be receiving a facial, and I thought, well, that's cool, I'll go. I got there, and the facial was just a makeup remover, a wipe, small dabs of cleanser, moisturizer, and a day and night cream. Enough to do maybe half of your face. Their facial is just the basic skincare routine. I should have known from there, but I stuck around because my friend invited me and I felt obligated. Every time they asked a question during this appointment and you answered, you would get a ticket. Hell, you would get a ticket if you laughed at dumb, corny jokes then. You got the most tickets, you would win a prize. When I answered so many of the questions they asked because I went to school years ago to become an esthetician and knew proper skincare. The sales director was so impressed with my knowledge that she said I was absolutely should be joining the team and there's no reason why I shouldn't. I told her I would think about it, and days later, the sales director contacted me and I ended up feeling pressured to join, which I did. I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. I started sending messages to a bunch of my friends. Most didn't respond, and I don't blame them. I did, however, get 3 of my friends to agree to go to an appointment. One friend was just trying to support me, but had no intention of purchasing. I was okay with that, but I ended up not feeling well and couldn't make it. I understood. One agreed enthusiastically. Then, the day before, she had a sciatica flare-up and told her that I hope she feels better. And the last friend, my hair girl, came and ended up buying product once. I went to the Boss Babe meetings where they would put a tiara and sash on the people who did the best like it was a pageant. I thought it was goofy. The sales director in the meetings was talking to us about skincare and their different products. She talked about products for oily and dry skin. I asked what about products for people with combination skin. She looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language that she didn't understand. It was crazy. Hi, I went to school for this, and she wanted none of it and dismissed what I said. After the meeting, I told her I was having reservations about being part of Mary Kay. She said that I should just stick to the script she gave me. That sounded nothing like how I would talk, sounded fake, and had way too many emojis in the messages. I think I sent her messages twice, but received no responses from these people. The people in my life know I don't talk like that, and I didn't want any part of what I was doing. I get it. That's not how I am when I receive the hum messages. I get it. That's how I am when I receive the messages. The team leader who brought me on, she ended up recruiting the friend of mine who had the sciatica flare-up to her team, and the girl signed up with her, both of them knowing I reached out to her first. So I thought that was shady. I felt like being a part of Mary Kay was such a crock of shit that I stopped trying to do anything with them, and that was me getting out. The sales director and team leader were both unsupportive, manipulative, and fake. I could not get out of there fast enough. They finally stopped reaching out to me. Thank God. I will never be a part of another MLM again. Thanks! Oh my gosh, so we had somebody that went to school and understood skin. Understood this type of stuff in skincare. And like somebody genuinely challenged that. That's one thing that it's driven me crazy is I'm noticing there's a lot of these MLMs where they'll have like skincare lines and their skincare lines are terrible. The ingredients is just absolutely horrific. It's way overpriced, way too overpriced. It's not, no, hell no. And then another big issue too is they'll have products like, for example, Bellamy, I think so. Saint has it, Bellamy I think has it, where they have like one main skincare set and it's like, oh, good for all skin types. How do we know that? Like, wait, what? Like, my dry skin is gonna need different things than someone who has oily skin. That makes no absolute effing sense. I was done. That stuff just pisses me off. But anyways, last story, you guys, last horror story, and then we will be done. So this last one is about pharmacy. I love talking about pharmacy and I need to dive into them more, but let's go. Hey there, first I want to say that I love you and your channel so much. Keep up the amazing work that you're doing. Thank you, beautiful. Okay, I just watched your new video on pharmacy and I have a little story to tell you about my experience. It's nothing crazy, but it does point out about how much of a scam they really are. This girlfriend requested me on Facebook one day. Let's call her Susan. I didn't know her, but we had a mutual friend. She seemed sweet, posts cute things about her family. One day around June of last year, I see she posted my feed that this amazing mascara, the Zen mascara she's selling. Susan marketed it by saying, hey friends, I'm challenging myself to sell 100 Zen mascaras by the end of the month. I know you wear mascara, or someone who does. Help your girl out. Let's get this moving. I will send one of these straight to your door for $13 or hand it to you in person for $10 if local. All you have to do is drop your email down below or inbox it to me for your invoice. Thank you for your support in advance. Who wants one? Along with some graphics of before and after pictures of using the mascara and all that BS. LOL. This was before I had my awful experience with It Works. That's a whole other story. I found the anti-MLM community, so I unfortunately fell for it and thought, why the hell not, and got one. When I got my mascara in the mail, it literally just looked like a Maybelline mascara. Nothing unique or special about it. The wand was one of those brushes with the small, hard plastic bristles, one you would see for the lengthening mascara at a drugstore. After using it, I definitely did not get the same results as the girl in the graphic did. LOL, of course. But I kind of convinced myself it was good. Looking back, it really wasn't that great, and it dried out really quickly. I now use L'Oreal Telescopic, and I love it, and it gives me way better results. Better eyelashes, last way longer, and is better priced. I think I paid $9 for it. I continue to see posts from Susan about getting a 50% discount on everything if you join and all that jazz. Then a few months later, I get a Facebook message from Susan out of nowhere. Without saying hello, how are you, or any of that, she just goes straight into telling me about her starter kit prices and then starts at $19.99 and goes up to $200 and no obligation to sell, blah, 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 blah. At the time, I thought, oh, $20 isn't that bad, and I can try some of the products and see how it is. So I decided to get it. Now here's where the scam part comes in. I followed the link she gave me to purchase the package. She told me to just select the starter kit package and follow the prompts to check out. When I went to select the $20 package, it wouldn't let me continue. I was really confused and messaged her that this wasn't working for some reason, and she was trying to help me, but then I noticed a blue button that had to be selected to continue. That button was, I can't remember the wording of it exactly, like a one-time fee of joining the business, on top of whatever package you chose. The fee was around $60. There was never any mention from her of a fee on top of whatever package you chose, so I was really confused. But my dumbass self, instead of questioning her about it, just decided to do it anyway. I cringe at myself every time I think about it, LOL. Girl, you are good. We all do shit like that, okay? You're fine. Things happen. Anyway, when I got my starter kit in the mail, it was a bunch of samples, which is fine. It was only $20. I also bought a few other full-size products to try. They were inexpensive, and I can see why, LOL. One of the items was bronzer blush duo. The smell, oh god, the smell. It smelled horrible. Like super cheap and overly perfumey. It was bad. I bought cheap makeup before. Nothing I've ever bought has smelled that bad, and it just wasn't that good. You can get way better makeup at a drugstore for the same price, if not cheaper and better quality than that. Knowing how MLMs work, they have to jack up the price in order to compensate for paying their commissions out to the consultants, which is why so many MLMs prices are ridiculous. But the fact that the company's products are so inexpensive even without the discount goes just to show just how cheap the quality is. So gross. That's my story. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be short. LOL. Thank you so much for reading. You're the best. Thank you again for sharing. And you guys, this sweet individual, oh my gosh, I love her. Like, thank you so much. I don't know if the video should actually, yeah, I think the video should be up. I'm not too sure. Either way, if the video is up, I will have it popping up over here. I actually did a video testing out the makeup and stuff that she got in her starter kit. I tested it all out. She's not wrong about the bronzer palette duo. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, you can definitely go check it out. I'll have it pop up over here. Or if not, it probably will be up here very soon. Nonetheless, I'm sure it's already up. But anyways, yes, that was literally a nightmare. She's very right about that, though. There are many MLM products where like they will jack up the price to pay the consultants. And so with pharmacy, they do have to pay consultants. However, it does blow my mind. It's more of a cheaper MLM, but the fact that maybe like, let's say a mascara is like what, $13, and they have to pay commissions to, and they have, I think like 40% commissions or something, and they have to pay commissions to their consultants, that is cheap shit. That is made ungodly cheap at this point. It's not even worth it whatsoever. And she's absolutely right. You can always get drugstore makeup at such better quality and price. Trust me, you guys, that's actually my favorite type of makeup to buy is drugstore. It's affordable, it's good shit, and like I vibe with that. I also want to give you guys a reminder too, since we're on the topic, I always have this in my Amazon store. I have a section for high-end and drugstore makeup. All of it, that's my favorite, like an entire full face, tons of options, high quality stuff that like I've used that I am obsessed with and I wanted to give options. So if you guys want affordable, fun products, definitely go check out my Amazon store because like you can get an awesome full face for a really good price. All right, guys, so that was it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you so much, and a huge shout out to all those individuals that sent me in their MLM horror stories. I truly appreciate every single one of you. You guys are amazing individuals. Like, thank you. And to the ones watching that are wanting to send in their MLM horror stories, please send them all to me at ISABELLAMICHELLELANTER@gmail.com. That is my email, and you guys are always free to send me anything through there or send me your MLM horror stories. All right, guys, so that was it for today's video. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. I love you. Bye.